Hello everyone, my name is Audrey and I'm going to be going through my Yelp analysis and redesign. So Yelp is a reviewing app that allows users to rate different services including dining, retail, home, auto, and more. They are mostly used for finding restaurants within a certain radius around the user and makes it easier for them to find highly rated and trending restaurants that fit their taste. Direct stakeholders of Yelp are food critics, families, students, and people with dietary restrictions. Indirect stakeholders are restaurants, food/manufacturing source industry, and food delivery apps such as Uber Eats and DoorDash. The primary motivations for direct stakeholders such as students and families are that they can locate and find the best restaurants that fit their taste and price range. What's at stake for them is that it could lead to misleading information such as the wrong hours of the restaurant that can waste their time, and then also fake reviews that have been left on Yelp. For indirect stakeholders, their primary motivations are business and company engagement, and then what's at stake for them is restaurant owners losing business because of poor reviews left on the app, and then food manufacturers not gaining profit from selling products to their certain restaurants. The first critique that I have is the sort filter on Yelp, which includes the most reviewed filter and then the highest rated filter. People mainly use these filters in order to help find the best restaurants in Seattle, but however, they can contain misleading information, which makes it confusing for people. For example, the #1 hit and most reviewed is Pike Place Chowder, which has 4.5 stars with 8,000 people who have left a review. 4.5 stars is not 5 stars, so users will be confused as to why it is #1. And then the #1 hit for highest rated in Seattle is this restaurant that has 5 stars and only 6 reviews, which will also confuse users because 6 reviews is not enough people to determine whether or not it's a good restaurant. Another critique that I have is the lack of feature critique, and I believe users who struggle finding accurately reviewed restaurants need other users to tell them which are the best. People can argue that this is already done through the review, as in like writing a comment on a restaurant. However, it's difficult to find accurate ones, especially when there's a lot of fake reviewers on Yelp. So I believe that having a voting feature that just allows people to press a button and vote on a restaurant that they love, and then having it displayed on an app or website face as a whole page for people to scroll through it and then also just determine which restaurants that are the best. So for the visual representation, I redesigned one of the web faces and made a highest overall ranked restaurants in Seattle, Washington page. So it's a web screen that can list the highest overall ranked restaurants, and it also shows the ranking and then overall number of votes that people have voted on. And then users can also toggle between overall highly ranked and then monthly and then weekly highly ranked. So it can determine like the whole spectrum or just the trending restaurants within the past month or the past week. And then the second visual representation that I made is a web screen that depicts a graph of the overall monthly and weekly vote history trends in a certain restaurant. So they can see the graph that shows the trends of the amount of votes that a restaurant has had recently, and see whether or not it's been climbing up in popularity or losing its popularity as well. It's also a good way for people to determine whether or not like the quality of a restaurant has gone up or down, or if they've gone like better in like customer service and such. So assumptions and limitations that I have about my redesign was that there were people who were always making sure that they chose the best restaurant that they can in order to avoid wasting money, because that is what I do. And this redesign can help those people ensure they're going to have a great experience at the restaurant they choose to go to. However, a limitation I encountered was how to make Yelp, which is a reviewing app with many functions, not more overwhelming than it already was. That was why I chose to do a voting feature, which makes it easier for users to just click a button to review an app rather than having to leave a long comment. And then also just a whole page with simple, accurate, and concise results for them to find the restaurant that most fits their taste. So in conclusion, implementing a voting and ranking feature in Yelp can ease the tension between users in the app, which has many confusing features. An advanced app like Yelp benefits from simplified features such as My Voting one, which will lead to more Yelp users who are no longer intimidated by their advanced features. Thank you.